I just wanted to have a quick lightning talk about Markdown and the art of reuse. You would have seen me before earlier today. Um, it's as if I can't get enough of videos and presenting in front of videos. I'm actually quite nervous because I don't really like this. But here I am, Markdown and the art of reuse. And hopefully we'll just quickly go through this. Okay, so my name is Swapnil Ogale. You can find me at Swapnil Ogale at Twitter. So I work as a technical writer advocate, which is the role is pretty similar to a developer advocate, but working with technical writers. So instead of, you know, getting developer relations, and that's why I'm working actually with technical writers. I just recently started at a company called Redocly. Some of you might have heard of it. So I recently started in this role, and the exciting thing about it is I actually get to work with two of my favorite things, tech writing and community. So it's a bit of both. If you haven't heard of Redocly before, Redocly is how do I describe it best? It's a organization. It's a tool pretty much that goes beyond Markdown-based documentation, and what it allows you to do is use your existing Open API specifications and make it more interactive, user-friendly, and easier to maintain. The easiest way is if you've got a Open API spec that's public and you can connect to your GitHub repo integration. All you have to do is press a few buttons and upload your API definition, and Redocly will create your documentation in seconds. That sounds fairly easy enough, but my talk is not about Redocly. It's about what we're doing, some cool stuff that we're doing at Redocly. So number one, docs as code. Who here doesn't love markdowns? I mean, some people might not hate it with a passion, and that's fine. If you like it, dislike it, I'm pretty sure it's pretty convenient. Like I was able to get familiar with markdown in half a day. And I might not be an expert just yet, but I have my fair and I've had my fair share of trials and tribulations working with just to get format text properly. The good thing with Markdown is it's pretty portable, and it's a widely supported format that can be used with a number of documentation tools. And there's no need to spend too much time formatting your text. I mean, in a near ideal world, as a tech writer, being able to separate the content from the formatting, I think that's a huge plus. Like as a writer, sometimes all you want to do is just be able to write, smash through your content and don't worry too much about formatting until later. Another thing about the docs as code concept is we can already use what is currently working. So things like GitHub. So GitHub flows, the basic steps around when you create a branch of a repository. Let's start. You clone a repository, you create a branch, you do your work and commit your changes, open a pull request into the main branch, and then get your reviews and approvals from people who are stakeholders on that particular project, and then you merge. So it's pretty easy with the docs as code concept. And the third, I think the most important thing is source control history. Over years, working with different documentation tools, there's often moments where you feel like you've done something and you can't rapidly roll back into something. With docs as code, if you're tied to a repository, it's easy. You can push back a few buttons and you're back into your original changes. So you don't really miss anything. The other thing is content reuse. Single sourcing is a concept that's closely tied to docs as code. You technical writers who work with different documentation tools like Sphinx or AsciiDoc or other sort of help authoring tools like Madcafé, you would be familiar with single sourcing. What it does is it saves time required for maintaining and updating shared content. It allows for content reuse and ensures consistency as content is created and maintained centrally. So it doesn't need to be manually changed in multiple places. Reusable snippets are in developer world, like code libraries, you can just call them whenever you want them. So what happens is at my current company, along with another tech writer at Redocly, is also a fellow Write the Docs community member, we proposed a feature that will allow us to embed Markdown snippets and reuse, and that basically content reuse will save us potentially tons of time in the long run. It also makes content consistent because, admit it, as tech writers, we hate having to maintain content in multiple places. And lastly, yes, we would eat our own dog food. So our proposal, this proposal for this feature, we actually wrote down that in Markdown and we proposed that as a pull request. So how cool is that? that's the end of my lightning talk. So it's just about Redocly, what we're doing at cool stuff in terms of embedded Markdown snippets. So that's me. Thank you.